is just give us a sign of the right way to go.
High or low?
Ah, damn it. High. Do I roll D100 again?
I rolled it.
Oh.
You get just a tinge of a feeling in the back of your head. Nothing significant. You're not even really sure if it's from him or just you. But you're pretty sure, for one, you know that you're pretty well out of Pamplus's influence here, this far inland in the forest. And for another, you think that this is one of those things that he'd want you to decide for yourself anyway.
Damn it. Alright, so I'm gonna look to the group and say, I know I could try to look to see if anyone's been through here, but I feel like I'm not really the best one to do it. Does anyone have any other ideas? What's your idea, Garrick? Yes, do you want to try and track them? See if we can see if anyone's been through here. Or, holy hell!
What are you trying to track exactly? What are you looking for here?
See if there's any trace of like footprints belonging to anything we might recognize, or maybe the direction of the scent.
Okay, so you, in this area of the forest, one thing that you can definitely tell, there's no trace of the hag's presence here, of Auntie's presence. Granted, you haven't really seen her do much walking. Most of her long-distance transport, you saw her moving magically. But even then, there doesn't seem to be anything in this area that indicates that the Auntie or any of the wisps are in this area, at least recently. You can tell, however, looking down at the ground and at some of the trees, you notice that high up in the branches, there are a couple of small marks in some of the thicker branches in the foliage. And looking down, you see what appear to be some footprints, three-toed footprints, approximately humanoid-sized, but maybe draconic-type feet. Now they're very difficult to catch, and you only see them because you're looking extremely closely. There's not many of them, only a couple, but they're there. The signs are there.
And can I tell which way they're headed?
They don't seem to be headed in a particular direction. It seems like maybe they are only touching the ground briefly. But you do get the impression, as you guys continue to walk in this area, you can see them every few hundred yards, probably. Like something is coming through and making occasional stops every so often. You also notice with that check, Garrick, there's not a lot in the way of large game. Mostly small animals, squirrels, birds, that sort of stuff in this forest. Whereas in the swamp areas, you saw gators and some bigger things, herons and the like.
I don't like this.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean down my shield and just say, like, does any of this look familiar to you? Have you ever been through this area? Do you know if we're going the right direction?
The eyes on the shield open. Are we in a forest?
Yes. We came out from underground through a swamp, and now we're in the forest. We're heading west away from the city.
Curious. When I was here on the way to do battle with Riddicks, this entire area was swamp. The forest is new.
Interesting. I'm gonna look to Bree and Norin. do you guys think this could be like a magical forest?
I mean, it seems pretty out of place.
Yeah.
If there's a centaur here, I'm gonna riot.
Maybe it's the
Oh, come on, we tormented the last one.
Does any of this feel like? Can you guys sense magic at all to see if they like? If there's anything like if this is even real, or like if it's just a swamp and we're seeing a forest?
I can't. I know that this doesn't smell the same as the last place. Like, this doesn't smell like Greenleaf. But I got nothing past that. It doesn't look the same either. It's not gnarled, overgrown. This looks just like a forest thing out of nowhere.
I'm not proficient in Arcana.
I am, but I don't think it would be relevant here because I would have no idea what the fuck I was looking for.
I feel like you can. This is just me bullshitting, but I feel like you could probably do an Arcana check just to get, like, a feeling of magic. I guess that's totally up to Quads, though.
If you want to determine, sort of the, I guess if this is like a potentially unnatural forest, I guess you could make you could make a nature check. I'd go for that. No, Arcana.
Not related to that, but would I know, is there like a type of dragon that causes forests to sprout around it? I know, like, red dragons hoard gold, but is there one that like creates foresting areas?
You can roll something.
Like a green dragon? Is that like a thing green dragons do?
You can roll if you'd like.
What would I roll for that? So, like,
I'm more thinking that maybe the
Arcana?
made it.
Athletics?
For dragon knowledge, I would say you can roll.
Come on, performance.
You could roll. I would take nature or history.
Well, they're equally shitty, so let's roll nature.
You're not really sure. You're not terribly knowledgeable when it comes to dragons. Just as a general rule. You think maybe it's possible, like it's not outside the realm of possibility, but you don't really know.
Also, how old is Morim?
She died approximately a century ago.
Alright, so, I mean, guys, a forest could have grown in that time, right? 100 years? Maybe?
I mean, in theory, but these are some pretty big-looking trees.
Huh.
Like, we're talking thing out of nowhere, like, that seems unlikely.
Yeah.
It smells funny.
It does smell weird.
Mm-hmm.
There's a weird mist.
That's not coming from one of us, right? Like, this isn't just like gas. Like, are you emitting a mist? Is it that time of the year for goblins?
Is there any way I could, like, check the trees to see if they're natural or not?
In terms of what, like age or something, or?
Kind of, like, how long have they been there?
Make a nature check for me.
I was hoping survival. No, that's not bad, actually.
These trees show signs to you of unnaturally rapid growth. They're not. The forest itself isn't necessarily magic. It doesn't seem like illusory or anything, but it's definitely not strictly natural either.
There's no like hoofprints or mane hair
He specifically did not see any tracks of centaurs. No.
Good.
And I rolled a natural 20, so I feel like if it was there, I would have seen it.
That's true.
I'm still gonna check for hoofprints.
This
Okay.
voice is weird.
You do not see any hoofprints.
I'm gonna be slightly comforted by that fact, but still keep respite close.
I can't tell if it's Norin or BV who's paranoid.
This is Norin. Norin had a bad experience with some vines.
We all did.
Norin learns lessons. His most important lesson is always watch for vines. There's no vines wrapping around my leg right now, right?
Not that you can tell.
Norin's now just like dancing.
Yeah, wow.
Paranoid, like trying to find a rock to stand
That
on.
was a creepy ass forest. There's no getting around it.
Yeah.
So I feel like best case to do now, follow tracks, be wary,
Maybe a bit stealthy.
probably.
He could be.
Now, Garrick, you said that the tracks keep stopping every so often?
Yeah, but there's still a pattern to them.
Is there
They still
anything
go,
weird
in the
about...
same direction.
Is there anything weird about where they stop?
They just kind of stop. There's a gap. There's like there's one print, gap, print, gap, print. I don't know if that means big feet or like big long legs. I don't know if that means like jumping, air, landing, jumping, air, land. I don't know. But they go in one direction. So at this point, all we can do now is follow it.
I'd like everyone to make a perception check, please.
Oh, God damn it.
I have advantage.
Watch out for that tree.
I still only got a 13.
Woo! 17.
Yeah.
Norin and Bree, you both hear, it's a ways away still, but you hear a distinct rustling of branches, like maybe something has interrupted the canopy, basically. You can't see it, but you can hear it, and it's sort of ahead of you a few hundred feet.
George of the jungle.
Guys, we should get off the path. Like now.
As he can be.
Like, very now.
What did you say?
We should get off the path. Very now.
Quietly.
This one
What's wrong?
I had pass without trace.
Well, there's things. Like, something's breaking through canopy back there.
Where?
It's ahead
I'm
of you.
just saying, combined with claw marks, foot marks, rustling noises,
Which way was it going?
potential monkey dragons.
You can't tell, you just heard it
Should
ahead
head out of sight.
Okay. But it didn't sound like it was coming our way.
You couldn't tell.
Obviously. Okay.
We should just get out of sight and then have this conversation while out of sight. And I'm gonna start walking towards the edge of the path and looking for something to hide behind.
Conversation.
Anyone who's going to attempt to hide, go ahead and make a stealth check. I'll call this a group check.
Wow. Fucking rogues.
Johnny Gax not bothering.
Nope. I'm standing in the middle of the path.
Guys,
Fist bump
like,
gags.
dragon foot, claw marks, noise coming.
Stuff for us to kill. Let's go
We
kill
got
it.
this.
Have you seen a dragon? Have you had this conversation from like inside a bush? Have you met any dragons?
I'm just
They're
picturing
not
this
fun.
wiggly bush with a voice coming out of it.
With a feather cloak coming out the top. No, a feather cloak coming out the top of it.
Oh yeah, orange feathers.
It's like a really fucked up stork. Guys, like,
I have an image of the
I'm-
bird from Up.
So as
you're not wrong.
the four of you make your way to the to hide basically in the trees. manage to sort of scramble off the path